I'm joined right now by Mike Howard. This man actually married yesterday, taking the ring tonight. Which one is more nerve-wracking, getting married or stepping inside the ring? And right next to me here, we have a QB blitz. Test your arm. You never know. Coach Doobie might come out, grab you, throw you in the game tonight. As you just heard, he's trying to get bigger, stronger, faster. So here on Shores Conference, look out. And although it's his first meeting against Tawas, Coach Lavasser has already embraced the magnitude and importance of this rivalry. Tom Barlow may not be directing his son's team from the dugout anymore, but now he's being honored all over the field. There's going to be a lot of action going on here tonight. Gates open at 7. The fights begin at 8. Now I'm going to get out of here before Katie decides to take me in the ring. The last 11 seasons, Alcona's been sitting at home when the postseason started. So being the first Tigers team to reach the playoffs since 2000 is something the 2012 squad is very proud of. A coach's success is often measured by wins and losses, but no statistic could ever measure the influence of Coach Tom Barlow on the baseball diamond.
If I had one kid told me he didn't want to play ball this year because he wasn't going to be a coach, and I told him that's not what he would want, so he did play ball.
I had the honor of coaching with Tom last year in the 11-year-old All-Star team, and he made a big impact on my life.
Before losing his battle with cancer last fall, Barlow spent 9 years as a Little League coach, impacting many lives, but now it's the ones whose lives he touched giving back to him.
There's actually a group of guys that, wanted to do something to honor Tom, for all the commitment that he had, to the league and just to the kids.
They decided to honor Barlow right on the field where he spent so many summers. When Tom's son Jordan and his teammates take the diamond, there's no mistaking their uniforms for anyone else's.
They have the cancer ribbon on the front of it. Everybody else has the sponsor name on it.
It's more than just a simple change of design, though. The goal of honoring Tom was achieved, and then some.
It was, kind of emotional. I mean, they're nice. It was perfect.
Depending on who you ask, the goal of Team Barlow differs. For some, it's about filling a void.
He coached, through it all. So it was just kind of there's an empty spot there this year, that we hope to, fill, with this team.
And for Jordan, it's all about baseball.
I try to kind of block it out so it doesn't affect the game.
I haven't seen a whole lot of, emotion one way or the other.
But no matter what the mindset and no matter what the result, the team's inspiration is never far.
You know he's seen it, but he wasn't here.
They know that he's always around, so it doesn't really bother them. They know, oh, he's seen my home run, so it's not as upsetting as you would think it would probably be.
In Alpena, Travis Kozek, WBKB Sports.
A lot of times she'll stand nose to nose with a guy and it just gets our team just fired up.
Whoever thinks the phrase "you hit like a girl" is an insult hasn't met Alpena's Emily Duncan.
I like hitting, I like getting in there. I feel like I can kind of, hold my own out there.
If somebody takes a shot at her, she is not afraid to take their number and go find them and get even with them.
Adjusting to the physicality of high school hockey hasn't been a big deal for Duncan. That doesn't mean her transition has come easily.
As a girl playing a guy's sport, she goes through a lot.
On the ice, some stuff, you can't really mention. It's definitely, they react differently. Some guys don't really know what to do.
However, despite mixed reactions from her competitors, Duncan fits right into the Wildcats lineup.
I've grown up with almost all of them, played with them for years coming up, and they're like my brothers.
I know I can put her on the ice, and she plays on both sides of the puck, offense and defense.
But coming through for her team is just part of it. When Duncan hits the ice, she believes she has something to prove.
Some people still think it's kind of a boy sport, and I really want to change that. I would like to show them that girls can play the sport and be just as competitive as any guy. And she has a pretty good case. While most of the boys she's facing now will hang up their skates after high school, Duncan has at least 4 more years on the ice. Following this season, she'll move on to the collegiate level, suiting up for the Bulldogs at Adrian College.
It's a great opportunity for her to take it and see how far she can go.
I'm just so honored and privileged to have 4 more years to play.
In Alpena, Travis Kozek, WBKB Sports. The last time the Posen girls took the court at home, they secured their 40th straight North Star League victory, an outstanding accomplishment to say the least. But with a record like that comes every team's best shot, and tonight it's the ladies from Mayo trying to end the Vikings' league winning streak. Posen protecting its home court in the first, though. Corinne Hinska with the big swat on Shelby Sokoviak to preserve the 6-zip lead. Moments later, Sokoviak shows what can happen when you let her get the shot off, nailing the triple. That makes it 6-3 Posen. But then the Vikings start running. Anna Couture does it herself on the fast break to extend the lead to 11. Later in the first, Ashley Myers says, "I see what you did there." She does it on her own, putting the Vikings up 15. In the second quarter, Mayo finally ends Posen's run. Sokoviak rings up another one from deep, but the Vikes just keep pouring it on from there, taking this one 73-33 to stay perfect on the year. Now in other NSL action tonight, the ladies from Hillman took down Hale 53-20. Jensen Chorzinski paced the Tigers with 19. And in Huron Shores play, Karina Cole's game-high 25 points powered Alcona past Oscoda 63-27. On the boys' side of things, it was a nail-biter at Joburg, with Mansalona barely edging out the Cardinals 66-64 in overtime. Logan Huff led the Cards with 18 in the loss. Let's head north now for a top 10 showdown on the college hardwood. Michigan visiting Minnesota, and things are tight early, but Mitch McGarry gives the Wolverines some breathing room. Look at the big fella move. That puts Michigan up 3. The Gophers trying to keep things close in the first, though, and the 3 ball does a good job of that. Julian Welch pulls Minnesota within 4. To the second half we go now. UM starting to sneak away, and this will help. Trey Burke from downtown, and Michigan's up 13. Then later in the second, Michigan's just showing off now. Glenn Robinson the third with the steal, and he has a little fun at the other end. The Gophers make a run late, and Michigan hangs on to take it 83-75. And on the pro court this afternoon, the Pistons and Knicks providing the people of London with some NBA action. And early on, England not treating the Pistons any better than the U.S. Iman Shumpert's got range, and the Knicks are up big, 16-2. In the second, Detroit looking for some offense, and Andre Drummond delivers with the putback slam. But the Knicks led 56-41 at the half. New York piling it on to open the third. Tyson Chandler wows the crowd with a jam of his own, putting the Knicks up by 18. But the Pistons fight back. Greg Monroe finishes strong inside to pull Detroit within 4. However, the boys from the Big Apple, just too much for Detroit in this one, downing the Pistons 102-87. And as you saw earlier, we're still in the middle of the high school basketball season, but for our local wrestlers, the end of the regular season is fast approaching. The Oscoda Grapplers will hit the mats for districts in just 3 short weeks, and for One Owl, the postseason can't get here soon enough.
After finishing 4th at states as a sophomore and 2nd as a junior, Oscoda senior Donovan Fauché only has one thing on his mind.
I gotta win a state championship.
But winning the top prize is more than just talk for Fauché. He spent the offseason putting in the work to get him there.
I've been working all spring and all summer. I haven't stopped at all this year.
He is actually one of the hardest working wrestlers we've ever had. Even during the preseason, he wanted to come in on Sundays. I mean, he just has a real fire that he wants to win a state championship.
Fauché also has the pedigree to reach that goal. His brother was a 2-time All-State wrestler at Oscoda and a major reason for Donovan's success.
I started wrestling because he brought home a paper one day and he said, "Hey, Dad, can I wrestle?" I wouldn't even be wrestling if it wasn't for him. I've always been on his side of the mat watching him wrestle and helping him out when he gets off.
And that help has earned Donovan a spot in the Oscoda record books. After going 5-0 at last week's Gladwin Invitational, he now sits atop the all-time wins list.
That's just a huge milestone to reach, and that's, he's in great company.
To be at the top, I mean, that's going to be pretty cool. That's something that I'm proud of.
However, even with the wins record now on his resume, it's the one win he didn't get at the end of last season that still has his attention.
It was a big letdown that we didn't get it last year, but we're coming for it this year.
It was pretty tough not winning one last year. I mean, because that was my goal last year. But I definitely want to win one this year, and I'm definitely working for it.
Well, as you just heard, Fauché now owns the all-time wins record at Oscoda, and after 2 more wins last night in the Huron Shores meet, he currently sits at 167 wins in his high school career. So,
wow,
very impressive from him.
I mean, that number alone is just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. In 4 years, not too bad.
Yeah, really. All right. Thanks a lot, Travis.